Guys, we'll start with BBC Radio Leicester and Ian, please.
Brendan Rodgers has just sat down and we'll speak now to our matchday commentator, Ian Stringer.
Brendan, hi. Thank you for taking the time to join us. You must be delighted with that win. Sometimes dogged, sometimes expansive, and your players had to adapt during the game. That must please you immensely with a big win tonight. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, Ian. Well, that's, it's the type of performance that you need to win these games. The Leeds obviously have shown so far this season how, what a really good attacking team they are. So, you got to defend well. But you also know the space, and I said that before the game, that if you can have that composure and quality to play, you'll get opportunities. So I thought all round it was a brilliant performance. Defensively, tactically, the players were very, very good. Blocking spaces, getting tight. We're disappointed with the goal we gave away early in the second half, but in some ways it helps us going forward, because we had to show then that resilience that we can cope with the pressure and then play ourselves back into the game again. So it was a brilliant result for us, and on the back of a tough European game and travel, to come here and put in that type of performance, it was very pleasing.
You talked about the tactics, Brendan. You must be delighted to have overcome three master tacticians of the game already this season in Pep Guardiola, Arteta and Bielsa, who you picked out for praise pre-match. I know you really admire him as a coach, but tactically you must really be enjoying locking horns with some of these big tactical managers this season.
Yeah, probably how it works is because I'm a British manager, we probably got lucky, and that's normally the way it works for British managers if they do well in any sort of these games. But the players were tactically very good in the game, Ian, and they got their rewards.
You talked about the tactics, Brendan. What confidence you must have in a 19-year-old in Wesley Fofana to put him in the middle of a 3 today. I know he had Fuchs one side. Incidentally, Matt Piper gave Luke Thomas the man of the match, but he really struggled to pick out a man of the match. But yet again, young Fofana's dominating the headlines. How good was he tonight, do you think?
Yeah, outstanding. I think the players that they're having to come in, we're missing top international players, but my trust has always been in the squad, no matter how old or young they are. As you mentioned, Luke Thomas, I thought again was outstanding, playing against Costa, who's a really fast, dynamic winger, and he controlled him really, really well. And Wesley, he had to move in one. At Zanetti, and he played in a 3 in the outside, but tonight we needed him central, and his maturity and his defending and his composure on the ball was superb.
Genghis Under, yet again with another assist. Brendan, you talked about when he came in, you just wanted to get him match fit. He must now be kind of knocking on the door for a starting berth, because when he's come on to tremendous effect. He looks like a real genuine winger, gets around his man, looks to get the ball in, and yet another assist this evening.
Yeah, well, he did start. He has started. He started the last game. It's whatever they're needed to do, whether they start the game or come into the game. And he came into the game tonight, both him and James. They have that quality. They're technically very good. But what I love about Chenga is he runs in behind. And the goal where Fuchs made a great pass, James's touch, he gets on the turn, and then Chenga's away, tries to penetrate the line. And then you see his class. He could have easily went for himself, but just to square it for the tap in was wonderful vision, and it shows he has no ego as well. So he's a very talented player, and whether they start the game or come off the bench, the contribution has been very good.
Beg your pardon, Brendan. I meant a Premier League start, but absolutely take your point. Finally, from me, if you wouldn't mind, on the injury situation to Evans, and we've not spoken to you since Soyuncu. I know you would considering surgery for Soyuncu, or possibly maybe managing that. If I've misinterpreted that, apologies. But I just wonder how Evans are and indeed Soyuncu for you.
Yeah, we'll see how Johnny is. He hopefully might be okay for Thursday. But we'll see over the next 48 hours. And then Cags, he doesn't need the operation, so we're managing that without the operation, and he's coming along very well, but he won't be anywhere near until after the international break.
Thanks for your time tonight, Brendan. Congratulations.
Thanks, Ian. Thank you.
Mike McGrath, please.
Hi, Brendan. Could you give us any insight into how much work goes through the week for you to tactically put a performance like that together?
Yeah, well, of course, it starts from a way out. You're thinking when you're watching Leeds and how they play. I watched closely the game against Aston Villa and seen the other games, but in particular the Aston Villa game. And you see how they play. They want to really attack the game. They play with wingers that stretch the pitch. They get great mobility and rotation. And of course, ideally against them, they want a basketball game where it's up and down the pitch. So you have to ensure that you don't get involved in that. You'll be able to play, and if you have that confidence, you can play. But you also got to be able to deny them the space that they want. So yeah, and it's a system that the benefit of, because they play the man marking game. I actually had experience of that in Scotland because when I was at Celtic, Aberdeen were very strong in the 3 years that I was up there, and they played a very similar system where they were really aggressive in the man-to-man, and it's 20. Your spare man is at the back, so and that really worked well for us. You're trying to work to find the spare man because everyone else it's 1v1 all over the pitch. So Christian Fuchs, you could see, was the spare man. He stepped out. He made a great pass for our first goal. And then I think it was for our third goal, it might have been, where he again stepped in with the ball, and you'd have seen him and James Justin stepping in a lot tonight. So yeah, a lot of work goes on with the staff. The players obviously have to implement the idea, and they've done it great tonight.
Thanks, Brendan.
Cheers, Mike.
One from Jordan Blackwell, please.
Hi, Brendan.
Hi, Jordan.
You spoke in the build-up about Vardy perhaps deserving to be talked about more. Did we see kind of the underappreciated side of his game in the way he sort of linked up with Barnes, particularly in that first half?
Yeah, he's got no ego, Jamie. He's obviously made the run. Both of them combined really well, and like you say, he's just squared it and made the finish. And that's what we've talked about. The attacking players, they're going to get chances, but at the same time, if someone's in a better position, you got to have that awareness to just square it and get the finish, and he done that. So yeah, he's a top level striker, one of the great strikers in the Premier League, and you see tonight how effective he is.
Okay, last couple. Dominic King, please.
No.
Dominic, you're on.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry, Brent. You okay? I was going to ask you about Vardy, but just to sort of just to take it on a bit further. I mean, what is this team capable of doing this season with an extra year of working with you, with the start that you've had, how good you've been away from home? How far do you think you can go?
What you say, Dominic, I think it's pleasing that it's such a young team and they're just getting better and improving all the time. The maturity to play, in different ways is great, because a year or so ago we couldn't have done that. Obviously, we pressed the game and we're really aggressive in a lot of the games, but there's moments where you can play in a different way, and now we have that maturity to do that whilst carrying a real threat when we have the ball. So yeah, it's still very early. We've obviously had 4 really tough games away from home in this league and had some great performances and results. This is another one, but yeah, it's still early. 7 games, and we just continue to work and stay humble and look to keep developing.